new material. J.R., can a game motivate you twice? I mean, last year y'all lost over at Auburn pretty handily, but y'all avenged it 3 weeks later in the SEC championship game. Do y'all still look back at last November's loss over there as motivation?
Not really. We're just looking on to what we got ahead of us, our goals and everything that we have straight ahead. We won the East. That was one of our goals. Now we got to keep winning so we can get our next goal.
With Auburn's offense and the way they like to tempo, how important is time of possession? Because when they get things going, obviously they're successful, but if they're going 3 and out a lot of times they're on and off the field in 30 or 40 seconds as an offense. So how big is time of possession in that regard?
It's going to be a big emphasis this week to handle the tempo. First and second down, we got to handle that. Because if those guys get third and short, that's when they like to go really fast, and those guys keep getting first downs, like to go really fast. So we like to handle the first and second down.
I'm sure you've had to go against Swift in practice. Has he ever made a move on you like he did the other day?
He's made lots of moves on us, and I truly believe him and Holyfield are the best backs in the SEC.
Is he that hard to tackle?
Yeah, they're both really hard to tackle.
When Kirby talks about the Auburn's window dressing, and we're talking about movement shifts, how important is it for you to be able to communicate effectively? I know that was an issue earlier this year.
It's going to be very important this week to communicate, also watch a lot of film to understand what type of movements and shifts they do and what's your checks going to be in and out of those shifts.
How much of a celebration was there for winning, to win the East, and how much has it been hard not to look ahead to that other team in Alabama that also clinched a spot the other day?
It was a little celebration, but we know that winning the East really doesn't mean that much. It's really nice to win the East 2 times in a row, but now it's on to Auburn, and then it's on to the next team, and whoever's next after that. We just got to be where our feet are.
How challenged is it going up against Holloman in practice? Are you surprised what he's been able to do offensively these last 2 or 3 weeks?
I'm not surprised at all. He's been very good for us his freshman year, and he's just been improving. He's a big body receiver. He had a couple guys in front of him, and when opportunity knocked, he hit it out the park, and he's shining right now.
Is he kind of reminding you of some of the things Javon did last year, being a bigger guy, physical?
Him and Javon, I know, we're very close friends, and he's a big physical guy just like Javon. I think he might be a little faster, but you let those 2 guys handle that.
How often in your just imaginings, as you've watched other teams this season, have you wondered how would we match up against Alabama?
I haven't really thought about Alabama at all until they get on our schedule. So right now I'm thinking about Auburn, worried about them.
I didn't know if that's just even a part of just daydreaming.
I don't.
Yeah.
You daydream about Alabama?
I don't have to play it.
I don't daydream about Alabama at all.
Yeah.
They are on your schedule now, though.
Yeah, they're on our schedule now, but we'll worry about Auburn.
Advantages to coming back home after being on the road? Does it seem like it's been a long time?
It seems like it's been forever, honestly. And I'm glad it's a night game so we can light up Sanford Stadium. And it's going to be a good time.
What does Auburn do different than some of the offenses you've seen? I think you mentioned tempo. Is that the main thing?
It's tempo and their formations. They like to run a lot of tricky formations, a lot of shifts and motions, and get your defense thinking. Communication is going to be a big key this week.
You were in the stands 2 years ago, is that right? The Auburn game. What are your memories of Georgia's performance that night?
Second loudest game ever I've been a part of. It was the second loudest game ever, and everyone's excited. And the way we handled the game was amazing. This Auburn team this year kind of reminds me of the team we had 2 years ago.
How hungry are you now that you have a chance to play and have to watch it?
I'm very hungry. Playing Auburn's big rivalry. Who can't get excited for this game?
How have you seen some young guys like Tyson step up on the defense, and have there been more young guys, put in than you expected?
Jordan Davis has definitely stepped up. He's one of those guys that surprised me this year. Tyson's done a good job as a maturity level. He's getting mature each game and each week, and he's taking stuff a little bit more seriously than he was at the beginning. He's learning how to watch film. He's learning how to practice, which is a big thing for young guys. It's really hard for them to learn how to practice at this level.
And how important has that been for you guys to have some of that younger depth with some injuries?
It is very important, for those guys to step up. We need those guys and later down the stretch like it's shown up this year.
What's the loudest game you've been in?
The loudest game I've ever been in was probably 2 years ago. I was in the stands for the Tennessee game. It's the loudest Sanford's ever been.
Oh, really? The other one was second loudest.
What are your observations?
After the game the other day, Monty and Jonathan were talking about some of the naysayers that I guess they got there, specifically about the defense, stopping and run, that sort of thing. Is that kind of the attitude of that. Is that something y'all feed off of? People talk back about that?
Yeah, it's something we feed off of, and usually when a lot of teams, when they talk trash or naysay about us, we kind of go out there and slap them in the face and prove them wrong.
Jonathan was saying that's something coach will bring up to y'all. Y'all may not necessarily see it, but it's something they will point out to you.
The coach will definitely bring it up and point out to us. We understood that everyone thought Beanie Snell was maybe the next Herschel Walker or something like that. So we wanted to go out there and prove that, there's only one Herschel.
Y'all expect to continue to be doubted moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the thing for the past 2 years. We've been doubted, so it's whatever.
How's the Auburn rivalry different, or is it? I mean, I know Florida obviously is known for a lot of talk. The Auburn guys that we talked to in Atlanta didn't seem quite as talkative maybe as Florida, but still seemed pretty resigned that they didn't play their best game against you in the title game. What's that rivalry like?
It's going to be a physical rivalry. And first 2 games that we played last year, the first game last year we played was very physical, and the second game was very physical. So I know everyone's going to be playing their butts off. I know everyone's going to give it their all, and it's going to be a 4-quarter game.
What did you learn from those 2 games last year, very different outcomes, that is important for this week?
Anything can happen, especially this week. It's not going to be a cakewalk when it comes down to rivalries. They were predicted to beat us, we were predicted to beat them, and they beat us, and they were predicted to beat us, and we beat them. So anything can happen this game. Predictions don't matter. What they've done this season doesn't matter, and what we've done this season doesn't matter. All that matters is Saturday.
How has Jarrett Stidham played the last couple of weeks? I know he was getting criticized early in the season. They seem to have bounced back. Have you looked at him on study film with him?
I haven't really looked at Jarrett Stidham for the past, since last year really. But I'm going to get in the film room today and look at him a little bit more. But I know, like I said, he can have a breakout game whenever.
No, playing with a chip on your shoulder is a cliche and all. How much does that legitimately help a team? And do you feel like you all have been doing it since LSU? That kind of crystallized that?
I think we've been playing with a chip on the shoulder all year, just because a lot of the talk of how are these guys going to do it. A lot of the seniors, no one really talked about those guys. They always talked about what left. No one talked about what's here. And I think that made a lot of guys on this team play with a chip on the shoulder.
Is that a little more the personality of this year's team than the 2017 team?
What do you mean by that?
Playing with that, like playing the naysayers.
I'll say it's a different dynamic. I'd definitely say last year they played, for each other, and we're playing for each other too. But there's a lot of naysayers last year too, and they were wanting to prove the naysayers wrong too. This year is about the same thing. We learned for those guys last year, so we're trying to instill the same thing in this program.
What are your observations about Tyson Campbell this season? Where areas he's grown, just overall description?
Mentally, he's grown a lot in the head. You got to learn the plays, and that was one of the things that I was very surprised that he did. So young and very fast, he learned the plays very well. He's has to just grow up and grow a little bit more confidence in himself. I'll say that. But he's a great player, and he'll be a great player for Georgia.
What are some of his strengths in your mind?
His speed and his length. The kid's very fast. He has good length, and he's not afraid to hit.
Are you encouraging him to boost his confidence, or you?
That just comes with the game. It just comes with the game. You tell him you gotta get some confidence in yourself. You encourage him. You do the best you can. But I only got confidence in myself by getting beat and going back out there. So the more he plays, the more he learns the game, the more confidence he'll have in himself.
How do you think Monty Rice and Tate Crowder are coming along? Seems like they got maybe a little bit more playing time this week together. How are they developing?
Those guys are doing a great job for us. I'm very proud of those two, especially Monty and Tay. Those two guys. I told you guys earlier, Tate Crowder is going to be a special one for us, and he's one of those guys that stepped up. He's really taking the game seriously. Studied a lot of film, him and Monty, and they're just flying to the ball.
Time for 2 more.
How much did the bye week benefit you guys as a defense and what you've been able to do with Kentucky and Florida the past couple of weeks?
We got a lot of guys back. We got to get some guys healthy, and that's what helped our defense, is getting guys back and getting them healthy. And we got to get a step ahead on Kentucky and what they did, and it showed up on Saturday.
Was the bye week the turning point? If there's a turning point, is that the game do you point to, or has there been one? Am I oversimplifying that?
I just think we've just been chopping away. I don't think there was like a major turning point at all. I think we learned from our mistakes, and we just kept pushing on and just kept going.
Thanks, J.R.